crazy people do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Sane people do the same thing over and over again, expecting the right results. Good, do you understand? In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word became flesh. And so, the righteousness of the faithful comes from faith in the glory of God, and you understand, that when you're able to speak and explain to people your beliefs and your faith, explain your faith, then, your righteousness rules. So I'll forgive you this time. So you're being very ignorant, not insignificant. I guess you just hope to be dope as me. I can hear you flee because the pressure's too much for you, right? Old Keith. Yeah. When did Keith die? Was it 2010? I think. Yeah, when I didn't know. Alan told me. He told me, yeah, Guru passed. I was like, God, I didn't know he's sick. I didn't even know what the fuck. It's like, oh, that's messed up, But everybody's like, oh, you and celebrity. He wasn't really a celebrity. To me, he was a dude that spoke about stuff that concerned me in a way that I could relate to. Okay. I didn't see Guru as a celebrity. We've talked in prayer. So I don't see him as a celebrity. I see him as Keith. Yeah. Your name ain't Keith. Go listen to the King, he said. That's why I go listen to Justin. I'm like, holy shit, his name is Keith. It's not scary, and I'm ashamed to say it. He was laughing. He told me from Hoodwinked, he was laughing about it. I was like, go get the fuck out of here. Your name ain't Keith. It's not scary, and I'm ashamed to say it. Change your name to like Boris or something. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Your name Keith? I'm just kidding. No, man, I've known lots of brothers named Keith. The one kid that I gave Johnny Clegg to in African history class at Basic Community College, his name was Keith. And a couple of other brothers named Keith Lewis. Keith, I've known lots of brothers named Keith. I was just fucking with them, And because you know how brothers are. You know how you are when we go around to. My name's Earl, but Earl the Pearl Monroe. Or there's lots of brothers named Earl. And the way I talk, people think I'm black, and so it's like, oh wow, black is Earl, and that makes sense. And even Ralph Ellison, so Ralph Sampson, right? So it makes sense that a lot of people have talked to me in prayer think that I'm a black man. Especially when I talk to folks in the vernacular, I would talk to them like I talk to gangs. So it made sense to me that a lot of, Bob thought I was black. Bob Marley thought I was black. It's entirely tangible that, because we didn't talk about color, that Malcolm might have thought I was black. You talk to the person, you hear their voice, and it gives you a sense of who they are. And it's fun. So you can use word weeds. Speaking of that, you see it, pull it, cut it. I gotta go get in the ditch, stand in the ditch, and pull the weeds on Friday. Just start mowing them down. Well, I told Dad they came up early. They think it's spring early, but the nice thing about it is I'll get all the weeds before harvest. So there won't be hardly any once spring kicks in. Because I pull them, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to pull them all. And gives me exercise, gives me something to do while I'm waiting for you guys to do that which is right, so you can start doing good and then do the same thing over and over again and expect the right results. And so, old tired Earl. I'm tired, but God, I never thought selfish people could be this bad. I didn't understand it. And it didn't make any sense to me. And Earl, no, it just doesn't. They had a lot of problems with me. I remember when I first got back here to Cruces. I don't know if you guys remember the videos, but they kept accusing me and labeling me as Asperger's or savant. because they were like, well, you can't recognize people's facial. I can recognize people's facial cues. And when I talk about things, like with Taylor, when we were sitting there and she talked about the horrible neighborhood we lived in on Jones Avenue where the call center was by the airport and the apartment complex, and having cleaned out one similar to it 5 miles down the road, she said, it's a horrible place. And I said, yeah, imagine being a 3-year-old having to live there. So then she called and got a thing on the shack with the police car that monitored, because it was Southwest Airlines, and then set up a clothing drive and a food drive thing for all the kids that lived in the apartment complex. It was so cute. She was a little sweet blondie, She was so sweet, but I just said that, and she just went, God dang. And everyone's always said that about me. It's like, God, he's deep. Every time you talk to him, it's like, shit. I don't make people feel like shit. I just try to get them to understand how shitty life is when we act like shit. Yeah. And so we shouldn't act like shit. But money's like trying to clean up your ass with toilet paper all the time. And everybody knows, when you, Adams and Curtis, right, Patterson Air Force Base, you can wash your ass, but if you don't wash your asshole, then your whole ass will stink, right? And so y'all got to understand that. So, shit, I'm tired. But, no, I'm doing my due, and I'm doing what I gotta do. And I'm tired. Yes, I'm tired. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, yeah, I'm sick of it. If you do business with dirty dogs, you're gonna end up, it's not calling it like it is. It's just tell it like it is, And if celebrities and politicians and website builders and all that shit want to be seen as a better person, they're gonna have to be a better person. And when you go outside, and I looked at all the chemtrails across the sky here from all the air traffic, because of the stimulating of the economy and the traveling, because you are driven by monetary delusions of success and doing things, you notice around the Christmas season, people drive and drive and drive and drive. And I drive when I need to. And, yeah, it's mostly necessary need to because of the society that I'm in, the economic engine, the groceries, the things and stuff like that. And then you're like, well, you put the bar, yeah, so people could come over and have a barbecue and spend time with their dad, their grandpa, And, but we move occasionally. We get up and we went to the Aviar for dinner and stuff like that. But it's not my issue that we all don't have a Tesla if we need to get together as family to keep in touch. But, extortion, exploitation, manipulation, manipulated relationships do not function. They do not work. They do not honor natural laws. So there's a lot of broken people, I've been watching a lot of this Saved by the Bell. They've been recommending it for me. So I'm sitting there watching it, right? Jerry used to call Corey, my nephew, Slater all the time. Slater, because the curly hair and the dimple. Yeah, because when he was little, he looked like Corey looked like AC Slater. Yeah. Now he looks like Franco Harris. But when he was younger, he looked like Slater. Yeah, that's what Jerry used to always call him, Slater. And I do remember Murph's name. Murph's name was Cornelius Murphy. I got that the other night when I was sitting there. Cindy and Cornelius Murphy. Okay. And Cornelius was from Arkansas. Or his name was Cornelius Murphy. He was a good guy. Very pragmatic dude. Very, but a good man, They were a good couple. I hope they stood the test of time in military hell. I liked them. There were quite a few couples that I knew that I'm just like, I can hope they survive this and hope they're still around and hope their daughter's not still punching Michael McDougal, I hope they're alive, and, there's a lot of good people, lots of some people showing me where to go, and I never want to lose their inspiration. Anybody else like Little River Band? They're one of my favorites. Yeah, I like Cool Change. I like Reminiscing. I like Lady. Lonesome Loser and Night Owl they're all right. I like Lonesome Loser better than Night Owl. And, it's, have you heard about the? It's okay. He smiles and says, even though it's driving him crazy. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. And dang, what other songs do those brothers sing? I used to have their tape, the best of or greatest hits. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, they're from Australia, but they don't sing with an Australian accent. No. Don't be thinking that I don't want you, 'cause lady, I do. It's a good tone, man. Yeah, I like those guys a lot. But crazy place, crazy people. But if you're a good person that wants to live the Lord's Prayer with all your heart, hang in there. If you're a selfish person that wishes me anonymously tortured and dead, hang in there. Hang in there, because that's what you're doing. Okay, hang in there. Okay. They'll bury Flo tomorrow, but they're hanging me tonight. They're hanging me tonight in the Louvre. Oh, you're funny. It's a joke, yo. Never mind. But it's a bad joke. Yeah, I got dad jokes. I got bad jokes. I got good jokes. I got jokes. My jokes are better than your jokes because my jokes are to help people understand and live the Gospels, and your jokes are for money, which gets people murdered, and then they sit there and they steal priceless works of art off of museums where people will kill each other over money, and that's priceless work of art. It's not art, it's creation, and all creation is priceless because if you don't have fish and chicken and hamburgers, you die. If you don't have high quality H2O, you die. And that's priceless. Okay. So when you go out picking, and I'm a picking and I'm a granting, and get all your priceless heirlooms that were inventions of human beings that put all of creation and what's necessary for creation to subsist at risk, you got to understand, am I an abomination? Okay. Ask Principal Belding. Or Zach. Doesn't he play the wackadoodle dude on the one where the black girl gets him and locks him up in the thing because he locked her up and shit like that? At first I thought it was another brother, but I think it was Mark Paul. But yeah. We watched him grow up from 13 to 21 on television, it's like, wow, that's weird. It is very bizarre, because we have nothing better to do than sit and watch advertising on TV and give away our time. And we're going through similar bullshit in our lives that they're going through in their lives. Only sometimes our stuff was more funny or more unreal and amazing. Yes. Where's my car? Guys, don't laugh. Talk the offensive line and the linebackers into moving the coach's car. Yeah, and Coach Allen was their favorite. Coach Forrest and Allen were their favorites. Yeah, so of course they had to do stuff like that. Of course they had to move his car behind the racquetball courts. They had no choice. That kind of humor, that didn't hurt nobody. No, man, they carried it gently and set it right down like it was nothing. Yeah, it was hilarious. Okay. And it didn't hurt him because he was like, just walked out and he had this look on his face. Where's my car? What happened to my car? And they're all laughing. So it's like, okay, so it's okay. She says, where is it? And then they walk him over there. I'm the class comedian. It was my idea. Okay. I'm the Billy Crystal of Deer Valley High School in 1884 and 85. Got held back here. Oh, shit. Now, you've made it to 86. Did I? I don't know. No, I didn't make it to 86, guys, because for 86, I'd have been 20. So no, I was 85. By 86, I was going to school at Phoenix College and at Deer Valley at the same time. And working and doing it. Yeah, I always had things going on because that's what you do when you're a young American kid. You got to go out and be successful and do this and do that. And I liked college better than high school because the communication, the interpretation, and the expression was more mature. And you could cut through the crap, and you could talk about cutting through the crap without getting in trouble, questioning the textbook. That's a good point, Mr. Persons. That's what you got more in college, and so I appreciated that. Like Professor Lavrine, we're historians, so we have to be able to back up what we say with research and written words. And no, because if you write down on a piece of paper that I'm gravity, does that make me gravity? So do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is insane, right? So I'm not a historian. I was a history major and I quit because I'm not gravity, right? Do you understand the gravity of the situation? Okay, and the word became flesh, right? And I am the way, the truth, and life. Holy mackerel, Andy, they can be taught. And without mackerels and water, we die. Okay? And money can't save you, kid. So maybe one of these days I'll meet Dave and Stiff. Stiff. And maybe Stiff will be like, you're my cousin. Yeah, we cousins. We Parsons, we Marley. So yeah. I'm the Messiah and I'm your cousin. Yeah. Your cousins. Yeah. But technically, I'm not cousins to Sharon. So if I flirt, don't get on my nerves. Don't do a pancha on me. I'm just kidding around, y'all. I'm just being goofy. You know me. I gotta be goofy. It's what I do. Right. So y'all, I love you very much. Hang in there. You'll end up where you hang, and you'll hang the way you're supposed to. Because heaven and hell are instantaneous, because life is eternal, grace is infinite. Keep the faith, all right? I love y'all.